You can view these three of Yoga, Vedanta, and Tantra almost like a pyramid with levels and layers. But remember, even that is for convenience sake. So you may start with the simple act of learning to sit straight and learn to do diaphragmatic breathing. This is typically thought of as being a part of the yoga process. So where would you put that? You'd put that on the bottom tier of your pyramid. And then comes the contemplation, the introspection, the looking at things like manas, chitta, ahamkara, and buddhi, and contemplating on those as how those relate to me. And those are in the Vedanta piece. So you would on the pyramid, you would put that next on top of the Vedanta piece. And then when you're trying to work with energy, sushumna, and this notion of Tripura, Maha Tripura Sundari. Maha means great, Sundari means beautiful. Tripura is the one consciousness that dwells in the three cities, like New York City, dwells in the three cities of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. And this is out of the Tantra piece. So you would put it on the top of the pyramid. And building it like a pyramid, it makes our mind happy because we can look at a picture. It gives us a visual image to be able to hold on to. But it does not mean one better than the other, and they work together. So, for example, when you're working up the pyramid, the way these three streams flow together, when do you finally let go of sitting straight? You never let go of sitting straight. When do you let go of diaphragmatic breathing? Never. When do you let go of the practice of eating healthy food and ahimsa, non-harming towards other people, family and friends and community? It's constantly there. You never let go of it. So it's in that way that all of these flow together. Once you understand the principles of internal dialogue and contemplation, which would appear to be labeled as Vedanta, once you're doing that, once you're clear on that practice, and you're doing it and living it, when do you let go of that and cease doing it because you say, now I'm doing my breathing practices and I'm not going to do that? You never let go of it. It all moves together into one uniform practice. For convenience sake, we look at them in three levels, like I was saying before. It happens in libraries where we subdivide books, and it appears to be in different shelves or different parts of the library. But it's actually one uniform practice. So another thing happens too, another principle that's very common is we talk about which yoga, which set of practices we do. So there's bhakti yoga, there's raja yoga, there's karma yoga. It's popular these days, kriya yoga. There's different versions of people doing what they call kundalini yoga. And we can easily get the impression that these are all different from one another. But here's a playful way of saying it. There is no yoga that involves anything other than kundalini. There just is not. It's all about kundalini. And in another sense, it's all about jhana. If you misunderstand the word jhana of jhana yoga, you think that this is an intellectual study of Sanskrit and books or texts. And that's not what the meaning of jhana is. Jhana means the knowing or awakening in direct experience of Atman or Brahman or Shakti or Shiva. And that all of these are names for the one absolute non-dual reality. They're all called jhana. So it's none of the systems actually exclude jhana. None of them exclude kundalini. When you experience the overwhelming awe and beauty and mystery of consciousness, of beingness, of the universe, this is bhakti. This is devotion. So none of this excludes bhakti. None of it excludes jhana. None of it excludes kundalini or shakti. At least from the perspective of our tradition, these all of these are part of the process, not just one or two little parts. And again, like we were talking about a few minutes ago, if you think of these in a sort of pyramid way, where they all work together as streams, then obviously there's a pinnacle. There's a point at the top of the pyramid where it all converges on unity. It's the principle of the dot that's on the top of the Om symbol. That dot on the top of the Om symbol is an indicator. It is a symbolism of one of the things it's called is Bindu. It's the point. It's the point out of which everything emerged, and it's the point into which everything returns, including consciousness. So all of our sadhana, all of our practices, is to work through these various types of practice, what appears to be separate types, and we move through all of them back to the point out of which they came in the first place. And that point is called Bindu. Literally, the word Bindu is point when you translate it into English.